Hello out there, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to The Divide on WRFZ 106.3 Rochester Free Radio. This is The Divide with Marcus C. Williams. And man, listen, we got a serious show to talk about today. If you're watching us online, make sure that you like, make some hearts, and definitely follow and subscribe. Please do share and definitely drop some comments out there. Now, we've got some serious stuff to talk about, and I'm going to go in pretty hard today. If you are the faint of heart, if you are a lily-livered individual, I'd encourage you to change the station or change the channel now, because I promise you I'm about to go in. Now, also, before we even jump too far, please wish my co-host, Brian McKenzie, a speedy recovery. He's in the hospital presently. Please, you guys, pray for him and his healing and that he recovers fast. Now, with that out of the way, if you are listening to us on the radio, make sure you turn us up loud so that all your neighbors hear. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tune into our show Tuesdays, 2:30 to 4 p.m. on 106.3 FM. Now, here we have a great country. To me, the greatest nation of all time. And we are going through so much insanity and hardship that is unnecessary due to horrible policies from our elected officials. Depending on where you live, it might be state level issues. Like I live in New York State, so it's a state level issue here. We got some terrible state level issues. We even have some crappy local issues, so you might have some local issues. But largely overall, all across the country, no matter which state you're in, even if your state's doing pretty good, the federal government is ramrodding you hard. And this is something that we need to do something about. We need to get the federal government off our back and remove their boot from our neck. But it seems at every turn, both federal and state governments are seeking more and more power for themselves. But friends, I tell you this, it's time for an American revival and renewal and restoration. It is time for us to push forward, irregardless of what our federal government is doing, and make the best out of everything possible that we can. Today, just a couple minutes ago, maybe about a little less than an hour ago, SoftBank, a Japanese company, Son Masayoshi-san, said he's going to be investing $100 billion in the United States of America because Donald Trump won the election and he has a lot of faith in revival in our country. That is an amazing, amazing thing and a great investment that, according to him, should garner about 100,000 jobs. Wow. That's quite a substantial amount from just one company. Now, could you imagine if we had that type of renewal of businesses being put into our country and created in our country from our country? If we could get the federal government to lighten up and release the heavy load and burden of taxes that they are using to oppress the people, man, that would be amazing. Here we sit on the precipice of a new day under the new administration that's coming in under Donald Trump. I know, some of you don't like Trump so much. That's fine, okay? But the fact of the matter is he has a very strong focus on restoring and rebuilding the economy. And you guys that don't like him so much, you got to understand two things about him. He cares about our country, and you'll say, well, he's just selfish. He only cares about himself. Maybe, and if so, good. I'm glad that he cares about himself. You know why? Because him caring about himself, his personal interests align with my interests for my nation. He wants the nation to do good because he knows when the nation does good, he makes more money and it makes him look good. Shoot, I ain't got no problem with him making more money if it makes the rest of the country have a renewal and be prosperous. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say that people are self-interested or all they do is care about themselves, well, the question is, does their interest and their self-interest align with what is going to be beneficial for us. And if you're one of those people that hates Donald Trump so much, most of you don't even have any issues with him economically. That is a very stark difference than people who are not very fond of our current economy and not very fond of our current administration. Now, I'm not just talking about the current administration currently when I say that we need a restoration in our nation. I'm talking about decades and decades of inflation chipping away at every dollar you make, the creeping increase in taxes, whether it's in the local area or on the federal level, but definitely on the federal level. We need to peel back a lot of the regulations on a federal level that are making it difficult to build, transact, transport goods, or even farm. We need to do all of these things. And you know who didn't do that? The current administration. Do you like lower taxes? Of course you do. Everybody likes lower taxes. Nobody wants them to take more money out of their paycheck or out of their retirement. Why would you want that? You understand? So when we talk about that, it's very serious. And I'm going to come back to this topic in a second, but real quick, you guys, if you're online, make sure you're hitting those hearts, hitting those thumbs up, and share it out to like 3-4 places on your page or whatever. And if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. If you guys want to donate to the show, down there in the ticker below, you can see where and how you can donate. You can go to Cash App, $MW Real, the number one. That's $MW Real, the digit 1. Or you can go to givesendgo.com/Marcus C. Williams and you can donate there. We also have Venmo and PayPal. You can donate on either Venmo or PayPal. It's at Marcus C. Williams. Please donate so we can keep creating great shows for you, get more airtime, and work on being able to get the word out to more people. We really appreciate all of those who have donated. We know that many of you guys have donated. We appreciate you. Some of you have even chosen to stay anonymous on your donations. You guys, you are awesome. Thank you all for being supporters. And thank you to all the members of Team Marcus out there that are listening and watching as well. I appreciate you all. You guys are some of the best people in the whole daggone world. I love you. So as we go into this, I'm going to come back to the economy. But real quick, we need to talk about something very, very serious that just happened. 3 people are dead in Wisconsin right now. 3 people are dead. And this is a very serious problem. Do you know how these 3 people died? They were shot in a school shooting at a Christian school. Don't leave that part out. Don't just say that it was a school shooting. It was a school shooting at a Christian school. Wait a second, Marcus. A school shooting at a Christian school? Absolutely. Absolutely. Didn't we just have a school shooting on December 5th where they shot 2 kids at another Christian school? You understand what I'm saying? But you didn't even hear about that, did you? Did you guys hear about the school shooting at a Christian school in California on December 5th? Probably not. That was just a couple weeks ago. Not even 11 days to the day. Christians are under attack in this country. I'm going to say it again because you need to dial in and you need to listen, especially if you are Christian. You need to wake up. Christians are under attack in our nation. This is a very serious problem. Remember before, I don't even remember how long ago, maybe a few months ago, they had that trans shooter. Where was it? South Carolina, North Carolina, one of those states over right up in there, where they shot all them people, where that crazy girl that thought she was a boy shot all them people. I guarantee you that the last 2 shootings were by these trans people also. Now you'll say, wait, you can't say this and that stuff. I absolutely can. Because every single time that one of these trans people go and shoot up these Christian schools or these churches, everybody is silent, lip zip, and everything. And it is a very, very serious problem. And you'll say, oh, well, you're stereotyping all of them. I'm not. I am absolutely not. But here's the deal. Christians are the most hated religion in the entire world. We are the only religion where they will openly mock us like it's okay. in the United States of America. They don't mock the Jews like that. They don't mock the Muslims like that. Go mock the Jews or go mock the Muslims. It'll be an uproar. If they shot up a Jewish church, Jewish school, everybody would be up in arms. There'd be legislation on it against it tomorrow. But where's the legislation against Christianophobia or against anti-Christian hate? Who is standing up for Christians? Nobody. We got all these fake Christians and fake Catholics in elected official positions, and ain't none of them's got poop to say. I ain't seen one bill on the federal level or even on any state level, Kathy Hochul, okay, about protecting Christians, okay, and stopping anti-Christianophobia. They got anti-Asian hate. Ain't no Asian hate. Somebody's gonna try to check me on that. I'm not trying to hear nothing you got to say, okay? Asians, like the whole continent of Asia, are you serious? You know that was all pushed by the Chinese, right? CCP, okay? That didn't have nothing to do with all the Asians. They don't care. China don't care about all the Asians. They just decided to make it as a wide breadth of a demographic so that it'll more so make people feel amenable to putting that in there so that people won't speak up against the CCP. Y'all got to wake up. And meanwhile, Christians are still under attack. They got all these alphabet people protections. Where are the protections for Christians? Hello? The FBI went in all of these different churches and cathedrals talking about, oh, we're going to be spying on all of these people that do traditional Latin Mass and all of these people that are Bible-believing Christians. What? We're under attack in this nation by our government, by the media, and by the continued brainwashing of the youth against Christians and our Savior Jesus Christ. Man, so disgusting, makes me want to spit. It's ridiculous. But nobody wants to talk about it. We can't talk about it. It's very frustrating. I told y'all if y'all was a little soft and a little lily liver, y'all want to turn this off because I'm not even beginning to go in yet. I'm not even beginning to go in yet. Whatever happened to the manifesto from the trans shooter that shot up that other school in where was it? North Carolina. Somebody get me that information and shoot it and put it in the comments so I post it up. Okay, because I don't remember at this point, unfortunately. But we didn't even hear anything about the California shooting, and that just happened like 11 days ago. Now today they're shooting another Christian school up. Christians are under attack. Do you know how many churches have been attacked this year? Hundreds. Have you heard once about it? There have been FBI meetings about the continued attacks on Christians in America and how our churches need to put in more security protocol because they have real threats against American Christians. Ask your pastor if you have one. Your pastor might know about it. This is serious, people. And where are all of the Christians to stand up? Y'all just silent? Y'all let them be quiet on the persecution and the murder of Christians in this nation? Man, listen. All right now. Then we got the persecution and the murders of the Christians in Palestine. Okay, Gaza, whatever you want to call it. I'm not about to split hairs over that. Do you know that Gaza has some of the most holiest sites to Christianity there? Did you know that? Probably didn't. Did you know that everybody tries to make it like it's all Muslim, but it's not all Muslim, that there are a strong contingent of Christians there, even though it's not an overwhelming amount? Do you hear about the torture and the rape of the Christians over there that's going on? Did you see the videos of the IDF going into different churches and making mockeries of them in Lebanon? Did you see that? Huh? Did you see those videos? No, because it doesn't matter. Christians can continually get mocked, get their churches desecrated. They can be murdered, and nobody says boo. Where are all our elected officials? Where are all our elected officials? Nobody got nothing to say. Everybody's silent. Come on now. Make it make sense. I'd say make it make sense, but it doesn't make any sense because you can't make sense of nonsense because there ain't nothing there to make. It's time for Christians to stand up. Here we sit on the precipice of Christmas. We know that there were multiple attacks in Europe last year on Christmas, them shooting up multiple festivals and all of this and all of that, them running into people and running them over and stuff like that. We remember what happened, was it how many years ago now in oh man, I'm never gonna get that name now. Where they had the Christmas parade and they attacked the people in the Christmas parade. Okay, here in the United States. Dang, what the heck is the name of that? I gotta see. I'm sorry, you guys. Hey Siri, what's the name of the Christmas parade massacre in the U.S.? Oh, see, Siri doesn't even like it. Hey Siri, what's the name of the Christmas Day massacre in the U.S. at the parade? Jeez Louise, reading it ain't even helping me. Wakasha. I feel like that's how it's spelled. Wakasha. It's like one of them names that these people name their children nowadays. Stop naming your kids crazy things, people, please. I'd like to be able to pronounce people's names and not have to guess, okay? And then the names don't work phonetically. Anyway, West Cascia, or whatever the case is, in Wisconsin, whatever. So that was only 2 years ago, and people act like they forgot about it. So we are continually under attack, and where are our elected officials with all of the bills to protect Christians? Have you seen one? Have you heard of one? Nobody put forth anyone. Not a one. Not a one. Not on the state levels, not on the federal level. Nobody got nothing to say to speak up for Christians. Are you a Christian? Do you believe in our Father in heaven above? Do you believe that Jesus died and raised from the dead to forgive us for our sins, so that you could possibly have a pathway to everlasting life eternally with our Father in heaven above? If not, I encourage you to go read your Bible or go to a church and get a Bible. They should give you one for free. If they don't, they're trash, unless they don't have any, and that's a different story. But Christians are being persecuted, not just here in the U.S., but all across the world. I just talked about in Gaza and Lebanon, and now we can talk about Syria, right? Now we can talk about Syria. Do you know that they're torturing and raping Christians in Syria right now because the U.S. is backing Hezbollah, not Hezbollah, the Al Qaeda and ISIS over there to overthrow Bashar al-Assad? Did you know that? Did you know that the IDF is working with those people too? Did you know that? Can we talk about that? Israel's working with them too. And I'm not trying to hear nothing that none of y'all saying about, oh, you can't say. I said what I said because it's true. The U.S. and Israel is working with those terrorists, okay? And they don't give a flying monkey uncle about what happens to Christians, neither of them. Which is sad, because America is supposed to be a Christian nation, but they done got so torn up in their daggone head that Christians aren't even important in our country, and almost every single person in Congress claims to be a Christian. And this is something like 80, 90% of them. It's outrageous. Outrageous and disrespectful. Now we got Israel about to take over Syria. They like a mile away from Damascus. They're on Mount Hermon. They're trying to take over everything over there already. Just do it. Do it, Israel. Just take it over already. Stop waiting. Now, as a Christian, I'm not a fan of that. I believe that we should restore the Middle East to Christianity, restore Christian Lebanon, restore Christian Syria, restore Christian Egypt, all of that. All of that. All of that. But where are the Christians? Why are Christians so weak right now? What happened? Y'all been fed all of this fake bone broth nonsense where it's all fluffy flowers and fragrant Christmas Eves? Like, what is this? Like, Christians are supposed to be hard men and women that stand up and stand on business, speak out against evil and wrongdoings and things that are unscriptural, that speak up for our brothers and sisters across the world that are being persecuted. But everybody's silent. And then when something happens, like, I guarantee you, because now that we know that it's a Christian school, I guarantee you it goes away. I guarantee you it goes away. I guarantee you they don't even talk about it no more. Watch. unless it's on some gun control bull job. This is a problem. 2 Christian schools were shot up, and I believe the other one was an elementary school. This one I think is a K through 10 or something like that, some weird age range. Also, so essentially another elementary school. So, what would you call that? Primary school? I don't know what you call it. Doesn't matter. But this is serious, y'all. This is for real. This is happening. And where are all of the Christians to stand up and say anything? Then I tell you what, there was this, and I don't have it on this phone, otherwise I'd talk about it. But there was this Unitarian church, y'all, up here this week in Rochester. I said exactly what I said. And if you feel some type of way, I said what I said. I'm saying that in advance because I'm about to say something. So if you think that I'm going to back down from it, you got the wrong one. I said exactly what I said. I go on TV and say what I'm about to say. Okay? They got this Unitarian church talking about, oh, they're doing a LGBTQRST thing where they're doing name changes and gender changes for people's IDs. Let me get real close to the microphone. Are you absolutely serious? You're calling yourself Christians? They're not Christians. They're sacrilegious. As a matter of fact, sacrilegious isn't even strong enough. Apostates. They are apostates. You are not Christians. It says very clear, okay, that encouraging somebody to a sin is wrong. Absolutely wrong. And it's double bad. That's how the Bible reads. I'm taking some liberties with the way that it's phrased, you know. It's in there a couple times. It talks about leading people astray and leading them to the wrong ways three or four times, depending on how you look at it. A little more if you widen the context. But you're not supposed to be encouraging sin. You're not supposed to be leading people in the wrong direction. Okay? And I don't care what you're going to say, and somebody else is going to feel some type of way about this. Homosexuality is anti-scriptural and anti-biblical. It is. Point blank, period. Which doesn't mean that you don't care about people that are like that. I hope that all of them come to learn the teachings of Jesus Christ, repent for their sins, and turn away. Because many people, there's 2 sides to that coin there. Now we're talking about something serious. There's the one side where people say, oh, well, you're born that way or whatever the case is. And I kind of lean to that side that people are born that way. Now, hold on. Don't throw no stones at me yet. Okay? Because everybody is born with different proclivities, right? So they have different things that they're predisposed to have weaknesses towards. So I'll give you an example. So my family has a history of alcoholism. And I know a lot of you guys do too, if you're American, especially if you're descendants of Native Americans or whatever the case is. But people have a history of alcoholism. We also have a nation where in America, people have a history of issues with narcotics. Like that's known. Do people have these proclivities towards those type of issues? Some people have issues with porn. Some people have issues with gambling. Okay, call it a predilection, whatever you want to call it. But many people are predisposed to that. That's something that they're born with, ingrained into them almost. That is their own personal cross that they have to carry and bear. You know, everybody's got their own thing, even if you're not quite sure what it is. Now, some people, for them, that's homosexuality. Okay, but we're not even in homosexuality anymore, are we? We're in a boy doesn't have to be a boy and a girl doesn't have to be a girl. We're straight throwing stuff in the face of God. Like they've gone past that. Like you've even got the people that are homosexual talk about this ain't right. A boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. And I'm like, right on. Because you're right. I'm with you when you're right. I forget who said it. I believe it was Frederick Douglass. I'll work with anybody to do what's right and no one to do what's wrong. I'm paraphrasing. Okay. But the fact of the matter is they're telling you that boys don't have to be boys and girls don't have to be girls, and you don't have to be the way that the Lord brought you into this world. That's insane. That's insane. And then they lump in the regular gay people with them. How you do that? Like, their whole identity is based off of the fact that they like somebody of the same sex and they're attracted to somebody of the same sex. And you're just trying to erase them too. And you're telling everybody everything's fine, everything's permissive. These Unitarians are sacrilegious. I said exactly what I said. You come at me if you feel like it, okay? You're anti-Christian, okay? You are doing the work of Satan himself. Devilry. That's what it is. Daggone Unitarians. The Methodists ain't much better. And the Methodists used to be a big powerhouse in the U.S. The Methodist Church has fallen very, very far. I'm disappointed in them. Y'all need to repent and turn back to the Lord. I don't know that Unitarians really ever had it. They always been kind of jacked up. Unitarians were very, very powerful in the founding of this nation. There's actually an interesting history behind the Unitarian Church. We're not going to get into that. We're not we don't really do that type of stuff on this show. But it's very interesting. I'd encourage you to go look up the history. Like, they're in charge of it. It's very interesting when you start to find out that they were in charge of all of these big Ivy League universities and stuff too. And the Ivy League universities and stuff are the ones that are problems and stuff like that. Anyway, they used to seem like they used to be better, but I don't know after researching them if they ever were any good. Maybe, but right now they all so far wrong. It ain't right. They can't get right. Okay. Repent and turn back to the teachings of Jesus Christ and the Lord our Father. It's crazy. It's crazy. Talking about you're going to change people's names and genders on their ID. Are you serious? Like, and you calling yourself Christian? Who are you playing? Whose face are you playing in, you disrespectful heathens? So disrespectful. I said I swear. Okay, I'm not supposed to swear. But anyway, I said everything that I said, and if you are offended, that is your problem. Take it up with Jesus, his teachings, and the scriptures, okay? Do that. Don't be mad at me because you're wrong and you want me to be all okay with it and everything's permissive. No, it's not. It's not okay. Telling boys that they can be girls and girls that they can be boys and doing genital mutilation on small children is not okay. And we're not here for that. And I don't care what anybody says, it's wrong. And that's why America's so jacked up right now, because we've gotten so far away from our Father in heaven. That's why we have all of these calamities happening. You see this crazy low birth rate? That's the problem right there. Turn away from the Lord. You see the issues with all of these things, with all these weather patterns and crazy stuff going on? That's because we turned away from the Lord. May we all turn back to the Lord and the teachings of Jesus Christ. Facts. Now, I warned you when I started this show today that I was going to be on here with some really lively stuff. So if you still stayed through, kudos to you and God bless you. Okay. Now, I do want to make sure that I'm very clear on the alphabet situation. Okay. Because I only talked about the one type of alphabet people, and that's the ones that are born that way. I'm using air quotes if you can't see me. There's another type, and that's the type of people that have been taught that that's okay. They've been taught that you should explore your sexuality and that you should question your sexuality and all this nonsense that's being pushed in our country right now and popularized in the media. And why do you think that they do that? Why do you think that they do that? You think it's for your own personal gain? Who's happy? Who's happy with that? Why? To promote promiscuity? Okay. We already know that the more promiscuous you are, the less likely you are to, one, have a good pregnancy, if you even going to get pregnant, because that's a whole separate conversation right now with the stuff that they put in the foods, the air, the water, and everything. Again, another episode. But with all of that nonsense, but if you're not coupling with somebody long term, it's been proven if you've had sex with more than 3 people, that you're less likely to have a happy relationship long term. That's a fact. That's science. Trust the science. You know what I'm saying? So that's for real. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Everybody trusts the science, but they only trust the science when it's convenient. You know? In New York State, they've got these new ridiculous laws, and it's so disgusting, it makes me want to spit. Where they've got it where now they're like, oh, men can use the same bathrooms and girls' sports facilities as little small girls. Men can go into girls' bathrooms in the park. I don't want no grown man that's saying that it's a woman to be in no bathroom with no girls in no park. Are you serious? Also, if you're a father or a mother, please check inside bathrooms before you let your children go in there. Okay, that's where a lot of kidnappers come. That's actually a real thing. Please be aware of that. We have had many problems with that in New York State. But we're all the missing children. That's a whole nother conversation. Can the FBI look into that? I'd love them to do that. Can we do that? Like, can we do something about that? Anyway, so people are being taught that it's okay to do all of that stuff. And then you have to ask yourself, is it something that's being learned? Because alphabetism has skyrocketed like 400%. Now, the fact of the matter is that a man and a man aren't able to get pregnant. A woman and a woman aren't able to get pregnant. So if it was something that they were born with or they were predisposed for, then that would die off with them because they're not able to carry anybody else to term. That'd be the end of their genetic code. So that would be a fact, unless they're out here siring other people like freaking vampires. And that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what's being pushed by the media. That it's okay. And then you wonder why people have mental health issues and are unhappy. What is the lesbian divorce rate right now? Something like 86% in like the first 2 years? It's astronomical. It's astronomical. So ladies, that just shows you that men aren't the problem, that you might want to look at yourself. I laugh and I jest, but it's true though. It's true. You know, the people be people. People are something else. Oh boy. But this is something that's very serious, and we need to have a serious conversation about, because it's something our nation right now is divided on, because they've been propagating that it's cool and it's okay and it's fancy. It's what's hip and what's now. You see it in the songs, you see it in the movies, you see it on the TV. You got them at the White House talking about, oh, all of this is great, all of this is fantastic. Got dudes with fake boobs. Would they fake boobs out? I guess that's how you would say that. You know what I'm saying? At the White House, got alphabet flags streaming down the White House, all of this nonsense. First of all, I don't care how you feel about flags, y'all. There is only one flag in the United States of America. That is the American flag. If it's a Christian flag, I'll allow that because of military code, specifically the Navy is the only flag that's allowed to fly higher than the American flag. But there's only one flag. Remember when some of you might remember, some of you might not, but the whole thing about the LGBT movement was about equality and stuff like that. We've gotten so far from that. Like, we even see a lot of them just like, we didn't ever want any of this. We just wanted to be left alone. Bro, I feel that. I understand that. You understand? But now we got all this other crazy debauchery and stuff pushed out into the streets like it's okay. Men urinating in the mouths of other men and committing sexual acts in the streets at these different pride parades and stuff like that, talking about it's events for children of all ages, all of these different things where they've got all of these things for the what do you call them? Drag queens for kids and stuff like that. Insanity. Insanity. You see it on TikTok and YouTube and X and all of this other nonsense where they're going through and putting makeup on little boys and stuff like that. Dwayne Wade's son got him up there looking like some sort of a monster. Okay? About he's a girl. He's not a girl. He's a grown man. Look like a. Anyway, I'm not gonna go in on that. Thank you guys for listening so far. If you're listening, hit the like, hit the heart, thumbs up, drop some comments in the comments down there. You're listening to The Divide with Marcus C. Williams on WRFZ 106.3. Let's get into some more of it. Now, I only bring this up because, again, it shows the issues that continue to fly in the face of Christianity in our nation. But nobody's saying anything about it. Nothing's being done about it. And it's a daggone shame, y'all. Sad. Sad. Sad, 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 sad. Remember, drink water, stay hydrated. Man, listen. We're going to get off that topic because I could do 5 shows on that. But going back to the I really spun myself up on that. Going back to the economy. It's so disgusting, y'all. It just made me spit. Going back to the economy and how we're set for a revival. Y'all, I know some of y'all don't like President Trump, okay? I know you don't, okay? But we need a turnaround for our nation. And right now, it's not about party. It's about what policies are going to help our nation get better and improve. And what's happened is the government has largely added many more regulations. They've added many more laws. And I was just having a conversation last night on my show, The Elephant in the Room with Marcus C. Williams. Go check that out on my YouTube, okay? Or wherever you're listening to this online. The Elephant in the Room with Marcus C. Williams. You'll catch my episode from last night. But I was just talking about this yesterday with a guest that I had on my other show. And we were talking about how they've got like 200 laws just sitting in New York State now that they're trying to pass. Why do we need more laws? What's up with all these laws? Don't we have enough laws as it is? We need more laws? We don't need more laws. We need less laws, less regulation. It's stifling our economy. It's stifling our people. It's stifling the education system. It's stifling business development. It's stifling the progress of the healthcare system. Don't even get me started, because there's a lot I could talk about with the healthcare system, but I touch on that briefly, and I'm going to get back to the economy and talk about Luigi Mangione, or whatever heck his name is. Luigi Mangione, Chuck Mangione. Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. It's him, Luigi. Okay, the guy that they're saying shot that the CEO of United Health. That man didn't shoot him. Come on now, don't play in my face and think that I'm stupid. They think you're stupid buying that Luigi shot that man. First of all, you look at the bone structure in his jaw. That is not the same jaw. You can change a lot of things real quick. You can't change somebody's bone structure in their jaw. They out there playing with you. Okay? Then they got, oh, well, we found him with the same backpack and the same clothes that he was wearing when they caught him at McDonald's. Then they got some picture of some rip guy talking about he's got an 18-pack and you found him at McDonald's. Stop playing in my face. Stop playing in my face. Then they got they had all of these lookalike contests, you guys, for the murderer, okay? For the assassin, not murderer, it's an assassin. Let's be straight. They had all of these lookalike contests. That wasn't nothing but a psyop, and everybody played right into it. Largely the left, okay? But y'all played right into it. It's these younger people, these youths. I am a youth, but I got me talking like that. Daggone it. You know what I'm saying? But they're so easily manipulated. Like, they just get so easily manipulated and moved and wavered by their feelings and their sense of social justice and, oh, fight the man or whatever the case is. But when it comes down to it, brass tacks, real serious stuff, they ain't never there. Where y'all at for all these regulations that need to be tossed? Where y'all at for all of these laws, that we are adding up too much laws. You just want to give more power to the government. And y'all out there talking about, oh, well, the government is bad. These big companies are bad. This is bad. They're denying people's health care claims. You know that they're denying people's health care claims. The percentage is going up. It's like 2,800%. It has increased since the inception of the Affordable Health Care Act, which is Obamacare. Okay, I'm hearing that it's 4,000% of the increase in denial since that time. But also, the quality has continued to decrease of healthcare. But we can't talk about that. We can't have those conversations because that's a real serious conversation that needs to be had. But people don't want to have that conversation because it's so divisive. We can't talk about that. Man, please. Y'all lily livers. Okay? It's a serious issue. We're not able to watch our society erode continually due to poor policy and people that have been so brainwashed, it's ridiculous. Like so easily manipulated. Like you don't even have to try to manipulate these people. You just like throw them a bone and it's over. You know, just let the whole house be robbed. You know, you give the dog a piece of you don't even gotta give the dog a piece of meat. Just give the dog a bone, and the burglar take everything. That's what these people are right now. Like the Gen Z especially. Like I didn't think it was bad. The millennials were bad, man. Gen Z, man, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It's bad. It's bad, and getting worse. There's this thing that they call it brain rot, which I guess is people's inability to pay attention or whatever the case is that they're saying. And they have to be consistently distracted over and over again. Like, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny, ooh, shiny. Because that's how they are. It's kind of like a ADHD thing or ADD. It's not even ADHD. People don't get me started on the DSM-5. I got a lot to say about that. Anyway, trash, complete trash. Anyway, and somebody's going to say something about that. If you feel some type of way about that, let's have that conversation. Because every single time that they do some changes to the DSM, okay, the diagnostics manual for mental issues or whatever the case is, they always change some stuff. They used to say that gender dysphoria and stuff like that was a serious issue. Now they're like, oh, it's not an issue, it's fine. It's not a mental issue, it's normal. It's something that should be accepted and people should change their gender. I don't mess with them neither. Later for them. Okay. So, crazy people. Anyway, but I digress. Because as we talk about this type of situation where we see what happened with Luigi. Luigi's like, I didn't do it. They're setting me up. They said they caught him with the same backpack and the same jacket that he had on the night of the murder. But the police said that he discarded the jacket and the backpack the night of the murder in Central Park, and they had it. You can go look it up. So how'd they do that? What's he got like a whole closet full of all the same thing? Like, is that what's going on? Like, how does that? How is this a cartoon or something? You know what I'm saying? They wear the same things every day. Like, it's crazy. Is he Steve Jobs? You know, Steve Jobs famously wore the same thing every single day because he said that it saved him time on thinking or whatever nonsense. Anyway, but that's not the point. The fact of the matter is this. That's nothing more than a massive psyop. We also have this whole thing with these daggone flying saucers now. These what's the new word for it? UMAs, UAP, right? Unknown aerial phenomena. Bogus nonsense. Okay, these drones that are flying all up and down the coast, the government's talking about, oh, we can't talk about it. We don't know what it is. The federal government don't know what it is. Use a daggone lie. Whose face you playing it? But people out here buying it up that they don't know what's going on. Then along with that, the states are like, oh, well, we need more authorities. We need more authorities. We need more authorities. You don't need no more authority. You got too much authority now. Y'all need to be stripped of your authority. What you're doing to the people is oppressive and repressive. Shame on you. We have gotten so far away of the point in the founding of our nation and our individual states that it is atrocious. Our founders would spit at us. That's how bad it is. They probably rolling in their grave. I'm not trying to hear any of y'all that got some flack to say, oh, well, they were slave owners, they were this, they were that. No. I'm trying to hear what you got to talk about. Okay? Tell me what time it is. Craziness. We have gone so far away from the concept of where our nation should be. We have given the federal government far too much power. We have given the states far too much power, and everybody wants the daddy government to take care of that. But we can see that the government don't take care. The more that you empower the government to take care of you, the less that you actually get. The less government there was, the more power we had over our individual rights and freedoms and liberties. And it's terrible that that's continuously been stripped away and people are just all on board with it. Now we've got this rise of the so-called socialists and communists and neo-Marxists or American Marxists or Democratic socialists or whatever the case is, like the DSA. I had something to say. I bit my tongue on that one. Okay. But it's madness. It's all anti-American. And then they're out in the streets talking about overthrow the government. Overthrow the government for who? For what? Who are you going to overthrow the government for? You ain't overthrowing it for the American people, you anarchist terrorists. Terrorists. A lot of y'all is terrorists. Y'all need to be locked up. I said exactly what I said. If you feel some type of way, I said it. Put that on the news. I said it and I stand by it. Y'all talking about overthrowing our government for foreign companies and foreign entities. Talking about, a free Palestine, we should overthrow the government. There is no solution but a communist revolution or a socialist revolution, depending on who you're talking to on what day of the week. Y'all lucky they don't throw you in Leavenworth. Leavenworth, the military prison, not the actual state. Is it state prison? Might be a federal prison. Anyway, we got two different ones, and I think that we often confuse the military one with the other penitentiary, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, y'all need to be held before a military tribunal and executed. Don't get me started. Oh man, I just said that out loud because I meant it. Anybody that is an anti-American terrorist should be used, the full extent of the law should be used against them. They should be drawn and quartered out in public. I said exactly what I said. You guys are preaching the downfall of our nation right in our streets, marching around talking about down with our government because of another country. You are outside of your mind. You guys are talking about giving more power, overthrowing the government to give the government more power, to take away people's means of finances and stuff like that, and redistribute the wealth and make sure that they have to work the jobs that you want them to work and do what you want them to do. Everybody doing everything, and everybody should get the same thing else. Well, guess what? I want the same as everything else. Okay? And I know you don't either, because you want more. Because not as Americans, but as humans, we want more. We'll be hard pressed to find one person that is completely satisfied. Maybe hermit out in the mountains, okay? Maybe Uncle Jeff in the mountains of West Virginia that doesn't want. People are naturally greedy, okay? And it's even about greed. It's about, what do they call it? Keeping up with the Joneses. You see what somebody else has, and it's envy. It's envy. It's a sin. It's a sin. It's a sin too, but this is a little different situation. And you're talking about you want to read the wealth. You want to take what everybody else got. Everybody has everything. I don't want everything equal. I want everything equal. I want what I can do for myself. And I don't care what everybody else got. I want what's mine. I don't want the government to tell me what I can get. I don't want this to be like Cuba. I don't want this to be like communist Russia. I don't want this to be like all the communist former Soviet socialist states. Okay, socialists, that's what they were. So anyway, Soviets. The Soviets were socialists. That's what they were. I don't want to be on a bread line. I don't want to be on a butter line. I don't want to be on a potato line.